Welcome, my dear students. So, up until the previous section, we have discussed about the linear operators, which are actually functions or operators defined on a vector space onto another vector space, which satisfies linearity property. There are a lot of class of variety of linear operator with which we associate several other properties and with respect to the set or vector space in which these linear operators defined. One such class of operators are called linear functionals. So linear functionals are actually linear operators from a vector space onto its underlying field. So it's actually a special class of operator. It has a lot of significance with regards to the study of linear operator and the study of vector space in general. So without further ado, let's discuss about linear functionals. Before getting into that, we must study what is a functional. A functional is an operator whose range set is either set of all real numbers or set of all complex numbers. So a functional is actually a function from a arbitrary space onto the set of all real numbers and set of all complex numbers. Usually we use small letters, small letter f, small letter g, small letter h to represent a functional, and its domain is denoted by d of f, and its range is denoted by r of f. These are important symbolic notations which we are going to use throughout this section. So one classic example is actually if you consider the set of all n by n matrices and define a functional as the determinant of the n by n matrix, arbitrary matrix from the space X, where X consists of set of all n by n real matrix. Okay, and this is defined as for every A, it is defined as for every A element of X defined as determinant of A. We can define such an operator, which is an example of a function. Now, moving on to what is actually a linear function. Definition: a linear functional is a linear operator whose domain is a vector space X, and range is the scalar field K of X. We already know that every vector space, associated with every vector space, there is an underneath scalar field. So if we define an operator, a linear operator, which satisfies the linearity condition from the vector space X onto its scalar field K, such a linear operator is called linear function. So if you denote it by F, so F is actually a linear operator from d of f onto some K. So if K is R, then K is R, then X is a real vector space. And when K is C, it's actually a X is a complex vector space. So generally, a linear functional is a linear operator whose domain is actually a subset, or in general the full vector space itself, and its range is actually the underlying field with which the vector space is defined. So it is actually a function from a subset of vector space onto its scalar field. It satisfies linearity means f of, for every x and y belongs to D of f of x plus y should be equal to f of x plus f of y, and f of alpha x should be equal to alpha times f of x, where x comma y belongs to the vector space capital X or D of f, and alpha belongs to K. Okay, so this is the linearity condition. So every property which we have defined on the linear operator can be adjusted in terms of linear functional as well, because linear functional is in general a special class of linear operator. So whatever the property we have defined on linear operator can be easily adjusted onto linear functional, like the property of boundedness. So boundedness. Okay, so we know that a linear operator is bounded if there exists a real number c such that norm of t of x less than or equal to c into norm x. Here also, instead of t we have f. So a linear functional f is bounded if there exists a c greater than 0 such that modulus of f of x less than or equal to c into norm x, because x is actually defined on the vector space capital X and f of x is defined on the scalar field. So that's why here we have only used modulus and here we have used norm. So if this is valid for every x element of t of f, then we called that linear functional as bounded linear function. Similarly, using this definition, we have defined what we called norm of a linear operator. So associated with that, we can define norm of a linear functional. Norm of a linear functional f. F is defined as, which is denoted as norm f, which is equal to supremum x element of d of f and x not equal to 0, supremum x element of d of f, x not equal to 0, modulus of, instead of norm we have modulus of f of x divided by norm x, or supremum x element of d of f with the norm x equal to 1, modulus of f of x. We have defined this definition in the case of linear operator. We have only replaced the t by f and norm of tx by modulus of f of x, because we have the f of x is actually a value in the scalar field. So there norm is not needed, modulus is enough. So this is actually the definition of a norm of a linear functional. So from this definition, if we take the collection of all modulus of f of x by norm x. Norm f is actually the supremum of this collection of all modulus of f of x by norm x. So actually, if you take the collection, the collection of all modulus of f of x by norm x, where x belongs to capital X and x not equal to 0, its supremum is actually norm of f. Supremum means it's actually a upper bound. So every element of this set should be less than or equal to its upper bound. Its upper bound is norm f. So we can clearly state that, which implies this equation 1 implies, the first part of equation 1 implies modulus of f of x by norm x less than or equal to norm f. So which implies modulus of f of x less than or equal to norm f times norm x. So norm f is the least value because it's the supremum, it's the least among the set of all upper bounds. So norm f is the least value of C with which this condition holds. Okay. So from this definition, if we can restate the definition of a bounded linear functional as a linear functional is bounded if modulus of f of x less than or equal to norm f into norm x for every x element of d of f. We can define the definition of bounded linear functional as this as well. And using boundedness, we have defined the continuity of a linear operator. Every linear functional is a linear operator. So using that theorem can be restated as, so theorem, a linear functional f with domain d of f in a normed space is continuous if and only if f is bounded. The proof is actually the same proof as in the linear operator, because every linear functional is a linear operator. So we have proved this result in the case of linear operator. So the same proof can be adjusted to prove this as well. So this is actually a particular case of the same result which we have proved in the case of linear operator. Now let's move on to some examples. So example. First example 1. We know a function norm for any which is defined on any arbitrary vector space. Okay. So let X be a vector space. A norm dot is a function from X on to R. Now this is clearly a functional. It's a functional because a functional is an operator from a vector space onto the set of all real numbers or complex numbers. This is a functional. Now to check that it is whether or not this is a linear functional. This is not a linear function. Clearly, it is not linear because we have already defined the properties of norm. Norm of x plus y should not be equal to, which is actually less than or equal to, norm x plus norm y. Okay. So in the case of linear operator, norm x plus y should be equal to norm x plus norm y. But in the case of norm, this is not actually true. So norm is an example of a functional which is defined on a vector space which is not actually